and welcome back to this episode of Shop Talk at Rad BMX Builds. I'm Sean, the owner of Rad BMX Builds, and I basically just want to sit down with you, go over a few things that are going on in the shop and builds that we're currently doing. In this episode, we're going to talk about some of the builds that are off to my right, your left, a build right here behind me, and we're going to talk about a few things going on with parts in the industry. So, let's get started. Okay, going on in the shop right now, projects that I'm doing are currently a 26-inch GT Pro Series. That's off at powder coat. Some of you may know I've been having problems with powder coating and getting things delivered on time, on budget, overpromised and underdelivered. Well, this bike's just simply going to be white in color, but it's going to be like that old school GT white with the 87, 88 Pro Series decals, which I think are going to look super rad. I was called and told it was finished. I was on my way to pick it up when I received a call saying there's something wrong with the powder on the frame, and they're having to redo it. So I won't be picking that up till later in the week. That's part of dealing with somebody else doing something for you. As many of you know, I run a small shop, and it's pretty much just me, a few people behind the scenes that help me run the website, the YouTube channel, so on and so forth. So first of all and foremost, thank you to those people so much for helping me do this. As of this morning, I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. So I want to take a moment right now and ask you, please hit the subscribe button, because as soon as we get to 1,000, I'm going to pick one of you as a winner, and I'm going to send you a gift. So there will be a free giveaway. You don't have to do anything but subscribe to this channel. I'll go through and see who those 1,000 followers are on and pick one of you to win something of mine as a thank you for subscribing. Okay, moving on. I just finished a yellow GT. It was a purple Pro Performer in 26-inch. But I changed the whole bike. I powder coated it yellow, re-decaled it with Pro World Tour decals, and just yesterday finished it off with some Di-Comp Nippon front brakes and Tech 77 locking levers and a few other small touches like flight pads and flight donuts. That bike is now finished. I absolutely love the way it came out. The purple was a sick color. Really liked it, but if you know me at all, you know I don't like to keep things stock. So I don't want a bike that's going to look like yours and we pass each other on the bike path. I want to pass each other on the bike path and you break your neck looking back at what I did to a bike that was stock, like maybe the one you're riding. Again, if you don't like stock and you want something custom, you need to go to radbmxbuilds.com/store. I currently have 4 bikes on there, and by the time you see this video, the sale's going to be over, but there still might be some of those bikes available. So head on over there if you're looking for a custom Rad BMX Builds bike. These are great bikes. I do not cut corners. I love every single one of them and wish I could keep them, but that's not how you run a business. I got to let some of them go. So hopefully you become the owner of one of those super cool bikes that I have out there. Okay, a couple other projects. Since I'm keeping the yellow Pro World Tour, I also want to talk about another bike I'm going to keep. And these are the only 2 bikes I currently have in my shop that I plan on keeping. And that is the 26-inch Hutch Pro Racer 26XL. That bike I got kind of local in northern Los Angeles area. I drove a couple hours to get it, a couple hours home, but I got a decent deal on it. I was happy with the buy, he was happy with the sell. And then I got it home and added some custom touches to it and absolutely fell in love with it. These bikes are getting hard to come by, so that's a keeper. I know you've seen it on Instagram. If you're following or subscribed to the YouTube channel and not following the Instagram, first of all, thank you for finding me here, but you need to go over to Instagram and check out my daily content there, because I will show you stuff long before you see it here in the videos. So you'll see some good pictures of the Hutch on there, and I hope you enjoy that bike too. Next one, I got a 26-inch Monza, which is not listed on the website for sale right now. 26-inch Race Inc., which is a full custom build. Every single part on it's been customized. That's on the website. And a 26-inch Haro Master in bright neon green with some gold Race Inc. components. That's a custom build as well and on the website. I also have a couple 24-inch bikes, a white 24-inch Haro Master, a blue full custom build 24-inch Race Inc., And there's a upcoming Monza build that will be an auction coming up soon. More details will come out on that, and again, you'll see that on Instagram first. Current build I also have right here behind me is a 20-inch chrome dyno NSX. Really, the NXX, the VFR, the Nitro, frame fork sets are all the same. It's about the components, and I'm throwing on a ton of components that are aftermarket. The only thing dyno on this bike is going to be the seat, frame, forks, and pads, number plate, and the rest is full aftermarket, repop, or just custom components. 3-piece red cranks, red brakes, red brake lever, all kinds of stuff, red pedals, red bearing cups on the bottom bracket. It's just going to be a full custom build, and I think you're really going to enjoy this bike. I was just going to probably sell off the frame and fork, but I currently have a lot of parts and components laying around, and I figured I might as well start slapping this bike together and see what it turns out like. I really like these flat oval dyno race bike frames from the early 90s. Some are mid-90s. This is probably a mid, maybe even later 90s with the V-brake. But they're great bikes. The flat oval is a cool looking frame, and can't just not build a chrome 20-inch dyno. It's hard to let something like that just go without doing anything to it. So if I got the parts and I got the frame, might as well do a build, right? So that's going to be happening. It's currently going on right here behind me. And big shout out to Aaron at Flight. Aaron's been great. We've known each other for a while now. And if you aren't using Flight pads, Flight donuts, or number plates from Flight, you're missing the boat. Please go over to Flight BMX and check them out. They have the raddest accent pieces for your BMX bike. So please go over there, support them, find something super rad. They have new, they have old. They have stuff that'll make your bike look so 80s if you want it to. They carry 90s looking pads as well. And they're always coming out with something new. She works hard over there, so give them a look, give them a follow on Instagram, and support them by buying some rad pads, donuts, or number plates for your bike also. We are going to have some surprises coming for this bike and others, so stay tuned for that. Some of you may have seen that I ride some electric bikes too. Yes, I live down here at Newport Beach, and there's a sick little bike trail that goes right along the sand, right out my door here. And so my wife and I decided to get some electric bikes. And then a company called Zeus Bikes, and the link will be below, reached out to me and asked if I'd like one of their bikes to build, make content with, ride on the beach, and absolutely, how do you say no to an offer like that? So a huge shout out to Zeus. Thank you so much. This bike that I've been riding is so rad, and it's currently undergoing a new look. I did a Eddie Van Halen tribute look on that bike, and I'll post a picture up here so you can see what it looks like. And now I've taken all of those parts and components off, and I'm doing a complete rebuild on it, giving it more of an 80s flair. But this is a BMX style 24-inch electric bike. Mine came with an 1100 watt motor and has tons of torque and power, and that rad BMX look. That thing is such a great handling riding bike, and just breaks necks when you ride down and passing all these other weird looking electric bikes that are out there right now in the market. People see something like this, especially in chrome. You don't see a lot of chrome electric bikes, and then you put your spin on it, your parts and pieces, and it just looks super cool. So I'm loving this Zeus bike, and I hope to have a continued relationship with them, and everything they do is just so rad, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I typically don't like to talk about some negative stuff, and I like to keep everything in my content positive, but I've been bombarded lately with a lot of messages and DMs about people getting scammed. So I want to take a moment here and talk about that. And I'm going to link a video below that I did about being scammed. And please take the time to watch this, because it could help you not get scammed and ripped off. But I guess there's a lot of people out there stealing photos for their use, but the photos are not theirs. These photos are from other bike builders, to include myself. Those photos have been taken and repurposed so they can sell bikes that they don't have. And my advice to you is, before you spend any money buying anything from anyone, please make sure that they have that product, and all you can do is ask them to take a certain type of photograph with that product. that'll prove that they have that product there with them at that moment. Also, do some research and see, how legit are these people? Do they have 0 followers, a couple followers, or do they have a lot of followers? Have they had that page for a while? Is this a brand new created profile? These are little red flags and things that I think you should look for when buying a bike. If you're on eBay, what kind of feedback do they have? Are they 100% and sold over 100 products? That's great. If they've never sold anything, that's a red flag. If they've sold some things and their percentage is really low on feedback, then that's a red flag. Go in and read the reviews. If they got negative reviews like I bought it from them, they never shipped it, they sent me something completely different, they won't reply to me, red flags, stay away from those. So please, please, please just do your diligent research and make sure before you spend any amount of money, whether it's $100 or $2,000, you should know who you're buying from and make sure you can trust that person. If you have any questions for me, DM me on Instagram or send me an email through the website, okay? And I will make sure I reply to you as soon as I can. Back to some positive stuff. There is a lot going on. Summer's coming. Spring is basically here, depending on where you live. I see the East Coast hasn't figured it out yet, but it's definitely feeling like spring, summer down here in Newport Beach. A lot of people out and about, a lot of people riding bikes, and I have a lot of projects currently in the works. So a lot of bike builds coming, and like I said earlier, I'm only keeping 2 of the bikes, and I already currently have them in the garage, and they're already finished. So everything I'm building, everything else that I have right now in my shop is going to be finished, being built, and will be for sale. So if you like something you see, it's for sale other than the World Tour and the Hutch. Please stop asking about those. Some of the other bikes that I've posted are now gone off to my collection, which is in another state where I store them, and they are not here at the shop. I do have a collection of bikes that I use for content that are bikes I built that I don't want to get rid of. There's a pretty good amount of bikes in there, but they're just ones I don't plan on flipping and selling. That's something I want to keep. Now, where am I going with this? So that's a huge question that we talk about often at Rad BMX Builds. Where do I want to take this business? Right now, YouTube. YouTube is my main focus. I want to be able to bring you content, live videos that I can show you what's going on instead of just photo after photo after photo on Instagram, which is great. And there's a lot of you over there. We're coming up on 30,000 followers on Instagram. How do I get you to come and subscribe to this YouTube channel? Please comment below on how to help me get those followers over here as subscribers. I need those bodies, those people that like that content to come here and watch these videos. That would help me greatly, and then I'd be able to produce much better content for you and show you a lot more bikes, so on and so forth, okay? So thanks for your help with that. Share these videos with your friends. Say, hey, dude, go give this channel a subscribe. It's pretty good content. And we post every single week. There's a new video weekly, and I think we're just about to hit our first goal here soon. In another video or two, fingers crossed, we reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. And then from there to the moon. As far as we can go, as high as we can take this, as long as we can do it. Okay, I got you off the stand, and now I want to kind of walk you around a little bit, show you kind of what I'm talking about. So the dyno build is, I believe, a 97-98 chrome dyno frame fork set, and I've added some bars, grips, stem, which I'm probably not going to keep the stem on there. I think it's one of the first gen Pro Neck stems. I do have a dyno stem, but I need to clean it up, so I'll probably replace it with that. Laid back seat post dyno seat. I believe there's some Pro Max, Pro Max V brakes and Pro Max lever. So let's take a look at what we got now. I am using a lot of Tongi parts like the headset, the seat post clamp, the grips, and I got some big plans for this bike. So let me show it to you in the basically first phase here before these parts start rolling in next week. So let's take a look. as you can see, pretty cool little project. I really like these frames. You can pick them up pretty cheap, 200 bucks or so. They used to be much cheaper, but people are starting to realize that, hey, I can find these bikes, I can afford them, and I can build them, and they're pretty rad. So great bikes to build custom builds on. So I like to grab these when I can. I've probably built 5 or 6 of these so far, but I'm really looking forward to this. And I got some red 20-inch 7X style rims coming for it with high flange hubs. Should be here this week. So wheels, all that coming soon. All right, talked about the 26-inch Pro World Tour, and if you've been living under a rock and haven't seen it yet, it is in one of my last videos. It's all over Instagram, but let me show it to you right here in the shop next to the hutch. Monza, Race Inc., Haro, so on and so forth. We'll just go down the line. Let's check them out. There it is, the 26-inch yellow GT Pro World Tour, which was a purple Pro Performer when you get it from GT. But I went full custom on it, powder coated everything, added just about everything new. The brakes were put on yesterday. Nice little touch here. GT tires, GT hubs, Rhino light, sun rims, GT Power Series cranks, GT PC pedals. Pretty much one of my favorite bikes to ride. It is such a cool bike. And next to it is the Hutch XL26 Pro Racer. Haro. I do have 2 Haros in here, so that's a Hutch, and I got the new Velo seat with the lightning bolt. Might be a little hard to see with the camera. Beautiful bike, loop tail, which I really like. It's got the Hutch stem buried underneath there, Hutch bars, Hutch seat post clamp, everything. And next to that is the Monza. That is some front brakes, tires, decals, pedals, chainring, Pro Neck chainring, Ditech MX2 brakes, Amy grips, flight pads, and donuts. Then the gold and blue Race Inc. full custom build, Batima forks, profile elite hubs, which are amazing, and blue Rhino light sun rims, Night Bike Roughneck, Night Bike Seat Post Clamp, and Night Bike Starfighter sprocket down there with the red line cranks. So, huge shout out to George over at Night Bike. I'm going to link them down below also. Night Bike, thank you so much. I love the way this came out. And this bike is currently for sale. If it hasn't sold by the time this video comes out, jump over to the website and check it out. Okay, next, 26-inch bright green Haro. Gold components come off of Race Inc. build, which was the gold bike. I swapped everything to blue, took the gold components off and put them on this bike. So lots of gold parts just about everywhere. Some box components, Race Inc. components. And this bike is a DMC. Absolutely love this bike. Came out great, and in the sun this bike just pops like crazy. Super cool bike. A couple other ones we have here are the Haro 24-inch Master, fresh powder coat, new decals, and Skyway wheels. Full custom Race Inc. Everything's blue. Everything about it, everything on it, blue, 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 reminiscent of the 79 RA7s. And then a custom Monza build that we're doing, which I'll just give you a sneak peek at. The Zeus 24-inch bike I talked about. It's undergoing a full refresh. Love this bike so much. I also have a rad power bike, electric bike that I've just been playing around with, adding some custom touches, decals, pads. Pads also available on the website. And my wife's got a beach cruiser that's electric from Electric Bike Company, but we'll just pass by. Give you a quick little review of all the bikes sitting here in the shop. And up here on the stand. And some of the parts and pieces we have sitting around. Lots of number plates, pads, wheels, forks, stems, chain rings, seats, all kinds of stuff hidden around here. Lots of Haro takeoff parts, Haro pegs, Haro stem. decals, cranks and sprockets. This is for the upcoming Pro Series build that should be here next week from Powder Coat. And as some of you might have seen, hiding down here is a Schwenyo scooter that I just powder coated, kind of a turquoise seafoam green color. Have another hot pink one over here. Like to ride those around. So that's kind of it, and more to come, but that's what we're currently working on at Rad BMX Builds. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll get some action videos coming up soon. Lots of stuff happening. Vans BMX coming out on Wednesday. I'm going to meet up with them. Huntington Beach Tuesdays is Tuesday. I'm probably going to head out there Tuesday. And some other stuff happening also. But I'll try to make it out to these events, get some footage, talk to the boys, and see what's going on, get video of their bikes, and see what they think of these bikes, so on and so forth. So, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Hope to see you subscribe if you're a long-time lurker, and share this if you like. I appreciate all the love. Thanks so much, and as always, stay rad.